Hi, I am Rachel Romeliotis, Senior Editor at O'Reilly Media, and I am here today with Andy Gupp. He's a developer evangelist at ESRI and an OSCON 2013 speaker. Thank you for joining me today.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here. Appreciate the invite.
So we are going to talk about location. Have location capabilities become a must-have for apps nowadays?
Very much so. Location is almost becoming ubiquitous. We've seen that in smartphones, Google Glass. Just about every device you can think of nowadays has a location component. And because of that, as well as it's being driven by search needs on the internet, we're seeing a huge uptick in how location information is gathered and how location information is used.
So if you want to take a look at your own apps that you're developing and figure out if location will make a difference or will improve things, what are the first steps in doing that?
If you want to get into using location, really the first thing to know is understanding what is it that your requirements are and what are your goals. So what I mean by that is you need to understand exactly what it is you're looking for in terms of if you're trying to track someone that's going to restaurants or track people that are going to supermarkets, and looking specifically at what type of location information do you need and what type of behaviors are they going to have. And the reason why I bring up needs and behaviors is depending on those needs and behaviors, you have to change how you look at the location information in terms of how accurate the information that you want. If these are just web-based applications that you're using to get location, the location information from a desktop, for example, is going to be less accurate than from a mobile device. So keeping those things in mind is really where you need to start.
And so once you've figured out how you're going to add location in, is it actually difficult to implement code-wise into your program?
Yes and no. Just getting basic information from a browser or a device is pretty straightforward. The part that's going to take a little bit longer is trying to match the location information with your use cases and your goals and your requirements. And that's going to take a little bit more time. Just getting a basic location off a browser, for example, if you just do what's called a snapshot and just get the first location that comes from the application, you may be accurate anywhere from a couple hundred feet to several miles away from where that person is. So there's some additional steps that you can take in the code, and there's lots of documentation out there as well as on my blog on how to get to more exact location as well as using the location in different ways. But in general, the answer to your question is yes, getting to the first location is pretty easy. Attaching that to your application and matching your requirements is going to take a little bit more time.
All right, good to know. Now, I know you obviously work with location a lot. Can you give me an example of where adding this capability really made kind of like an unexpected big difference?
Yes, very much so. One of our customers was using location simply to give coupons when people were within a certain distance of a particular store. And anybody who's used smartphones has seen information like that. They've read articles, they've heard about smartphone apps that pop up coupons when you're within a certain location. Well, what we're working on is what if you can all of a sudden assign demographic information to those people and learn more about their shopping habits. Where do they live? Which stores do they frequent the most? And now you can take something generic like, okay, Joe Shopper is in the area of a particular Starbucks or a particular Walmart or a particular Target. And I'm just using those as general examples. And now you can say, okay, we understand more about this person's behavior, and we can tailor the coupons now and make it much more targeted in terms of the information that we can give them, in terms of the types of coupons we give them, or when we offer them the coupons, or what type of sale is offered within the coupon. So it's taking location to the next level to enhance people's shopping experiences.
So that actually is pretty cool from a shopper experience, like viewpoint. Now, so we talked before, and we talked a little bit, and I think you're alluding to this, about location analytics. Can you tell me a little bit about that and sort of where you see that going?
Location analytics is huge, and I'm just giving one small generic example of what's possible, and it's being applied into many different industries to basically enhance the bottom line. And the use case is very similar. Is if you just have an address for someone and that's all you're using the address for, what if you take it to the next level? Other examples in other industries might be real estate is a great example. Where do I build my store based on traffic patterns of a particular demographic type? Versus in the old days, circa the previous century, in the 20th century, all we looked at was the cities and counties and states provide you with traffic information based on roads. I think everybody's seen the little strips across the road that measure traffic counts, and that's all we used to have. Now we're taking it to the next level and saying, I know where my customer base lives, I know where they travel to, I know how far they go, and how far they're willing to go for specific items. Location analytics is taking this to a whole new level that was possible before. It's a very exciting field.
I would agree with you on that. What do you think about the future of location with like augmented reality and devices like Google Glass?
I think it's totally coming, and I think there's pluses and there's minuses. I think everybody with a geek in them wants to play with that information and get access to it and try it out. I think reality is also coming to bear with the ethical, the moral, the privacy issues, the legal issues. All of these things have to be sorted out, and I think it's cool that the technology is running ahead of those things, as usually is the case. But it's going to be interesting to see how this shakes out. None of us really know the answers on what decisions are going to be made by stakeholders and the government in terms of what we can do with these things. Personally speaking, as a geek, I find it very exciting, and the adoption is just going to continue. The fact that every smartphone has a camera on it on the front and back, even our laptops like we're talking on now have cameras built in, you can only hope that we take it to the next level and continue to experiment. And the last thing I was going to say is we have only seen the tip of what's possible. With the technology that's out there now, like Google Glass and Connect and those types of things, it's just opening the door for brilliant developers to play with location and augmented reality and really take it to the next level.
Yeah, I think it's actually going to be really fun for us consumers out there as well. So thank you very much. That was really great. And I look forward to hearing more of what you have to say at OSCON.
Looking forward to being there and seeing you there. Thank you very much.
All right, thanks.